Imagine this. You bought a premium queen bee. You paid for genetics, selection, honey potential, calm temperament, colony development, and then the bees kill her in less than 1 minute. One moment of carelessness, one mistake during introduction, and the entire investment disappears before your eyes. But there is a method over a century old that many modern beekeepers almost no longer use, and its success rate is incredible. Today, we are not talking about ordinary queen introduction through a cage. We are talking about the Simmons Method, a technique that uses bee psychology, their instinct, and proper timing. And that is exactly why. Stay until the end, because in this episode, you may change forever the way you introduce queens. Hello everyone, friends, and welcome to a new episode. Today, we are talking about one of the most interesting and underrated techniques in beekeeping, the Simmons Method of queen introduction. Most beekeepers, when introducing a new queen, rely on classic transport cages, candy plugs, slow-release systems, and waiting several days. And that is indeed standard practice. But the problem appears with aggressive colonies. Colonies that have been queenless for a long time. Colonies with laying workers. Or when introducing a very valuable selected queen that we cannot afford to lose. That is where the Simmons Method comes in. This method is not magic. It is not a trick. It is not a secret recipe. It is based on a deep understanding of bee behavior, and that is exactly why it still works today, more than 100 years after it was first described. The Simmons Method is a technique of direct queen acceptance without keeping the queen inside a cage in the colony for a long period. But the key is not only in releasing the queen. The key is in the condition of the bees at the moment of acceptance. Samuel Simmons, the English beekeeper after whom the method was named, noticed one fascinating thing. When bees are calm, well-fed, during the evening hours, without intense guarding behavior, and focused on food processing, their aggression toward a new queen dramatically decreases. In other words, a bee occupied with collecting and processing syrup enters attack mode much less easily, and that is exactly where Simmons makes the difference. He does not force the bees to accept the queen by force. He creates conditions in which the bees themselves reduce aggression. That is a huge difference, because true beekeeping is not fighting against nature. True beekeeping is understanding nature. The Simmons Method is especially useful in the following situations. When replacing an old queen, when we want fast acceptance, in production colonies during the season, in colonies that reject queens from cages, and with very expensive selected queens. Many beekeepers make one major mistake. They think the problem is the queen. But in reality, the problem is almost always the condition of the colony. If the colony is disturbed, hungry, queenless for too long, or has hidden queen cells, acceptance drops dramatically. That is why the Simmons Method is not just a queen introduction technique. It is a technique of preparing the psychology of the colony, and that is exactly why. Now, watch the next part carefully, because we are coming to the most important steps. If you enjoy detailed and practical beekeeping episodes like this, make sure to support the channel with a like and a subscription. That means a lot for the growth of this channel and helps us continue with serious beekeeping content without sensationalism and myths. And now we move to the most important part, how the Simmons Method is done step by step. The first step is completely removing the queen from the colony, and there are no shortcuts here. You must find the old queen and remove her. After that, the colony remains queenless for a certain period. Some beekeepers leave it for several hours. Some wait until evening. Some even wait 24 hours. But the point is the same. The bees must feel the absence of a queen. That changes the entire behavior of the colony. However, Waiting too long can also become a problem, because then the colony begins emergency queen cell production and becomes much more unstable for acceptance. That is why balance is extremely important. In most cases, several hours without a queen until evening gives very good results. This is the part many people skip. The new queen is very often transported with attendant bees, and those bees can trigger aggression. Why? Because the colony immediately senses foreign bees, and instead of focusing on the queen's scent, conflict appears between the bees. That is why in the Simmons method, the queen is very often kept alone in a small cage for a certain period before release, without attendants, without additional bees, only the queen. In this way, the colony accepts her pheromone much more easily without additional tension. This is a small detail that makes a huge difference. One of the biggest mistakes is introducing a queen in the middle of the day. At that time, forager bees are active, guard bees are at maximum alertness, and the entire colony is in a high-activity rhythm. The Simmons method is performed in the evening or at dusk. When flight activity decreases, when guard activity drops, when the colony calms down, and when the bees move into a completely different behavioral state, that is the moment when the colony becomes the calmest, and exactly then the new queen has the highest chance of passing without aggression. Beekeeping is often a matter of proper timing, and this is a perfect example of that. Now we come to the most important part of the Simmons method, feeding. Right. Before introducing the queen, the colony is heavily fed with warm syrup. And here many people do not understand what is actually happening. When bees receive a sudden food influx, syrup processing activates. Focus shifts to storage. Communication inside the colony changes, and aggression decreases. In other words, the bees gain a feeling of abundance, and a colony that feels abundance accepts a new queen much more easily. That is fascinating bee biology, and that is why old beekeepers often say, a fed bee is a calm bee, and believe me, there is much more science in that than people think. After all of that comes the moment of directly releasing the queen, without waiting several days. Without complicated systems, the queen is carefully released. Across the top bars, through the hive entrance, or directly onto frames where younger bees are located. And now comes the key moment. Observe the behavior of the bees. If they approach calmly, touch her with antennae, do not form a ball around her, do not bite, do not raise their abdomen, those are very good signs of acceptance. But if you see sudden agitation, chasing behavior, a ball around the queen, aggressive buzzing, the reaction must be fast. Then the queen is immediately returned to protection. Never force acceptance, because 1 second is enough to lose the queen. What fascinates people about the Simmons method is the fact that it still gives excellent results today. Even though we have modern equipment, modern cages, and new technology, bee biology has remained the same. Bees still function through pheromones, a feeling of security, food availability, and collective behavior. Simmons did not defeat the bees, he understood them, and that is exactly why his method has lasted for more than a century. That is a huge lesson for every beekeeper, because the most successful beekeepers are not those who control the colony by force, but those who understand how the colony thinks. Before we finish, a few very important rules. Never use the Simmons method. During cold weather, during robbing behavior, when the colony is extremely aggressive, or when you are not sure there are no hidden queen cells. Second, after introducing the queen, Do not open the hive for the next 2 days unless you absolutely must. The bees need peace. Third, there is no method with an absolute 100% success rate. That is very important to understand. Beekeeping is not mathematics. But the Simmons method can dramatically increase the acceptance rate when performed properly, and that is why serious beekeepers still respect it today. The Simmons method may be old, but some old methods survive precisely because they work. In a time when everyone is searching for complicated systems, expensive equipment, and miracle solutions, sometimes the answer is actually in understanding the nature of bees. If you work with a feeling for timing, colony condition, and bee behavior, queen acceptance can become much safer and calmer. Write below in the comments, have you ever tried direct queen release? What success rate do you have? And do you use classic cages or some methods of your own? If you enjoyed this episode, support the channel with a like and subscription. And you continue following the next episodes.